Woo! What's going on YouTube? It's Donnie all day. So today I want to talk to you about knife skills and the why, when, where, and what you would need a particular knife skill for. And today's skill we're going to talk about is knife throwing. Why would you ever need to throw a knife? I throw pretty much every single knife. This one right here is the NASA version of the K-Bar utility knife. And this was sent to me by the great Captain Electro, and it's the only, I've had 4 different K-Bar knives. This is the only one I kept. I love it. It's just awesome. I won't get rid of this one. But everybody loves to say, oh, D-Bad hates the K-Bar because he's always talking about, he says it's not a fighting knife. It's not, well, it's a utility knife. And I don't hate the K-Bar just because I'm honest about the math. In the point of balance, there's an actual thing called MEAN, mean. The mean is a measured point of balance, and different measured point of balances for different knives dictate on what that knife is really for. The mean on this one is perfect for a hunting knife. So everybody can hate on me all you want for being honest about the actual numbers, the actual math that goes into this knife. I didn't design it. It's not my math. It's the math. It's the only math. So sorry, but one thing about this knife is it makes for an excellent thrower. It really does. It's not supposed to, but it makes for a really good thrower. Just like fighting knife. Can I win a fight with this knife? Abso-freaking-lutely. Is it balanced to be a fighting knife? No. Does it matter? I'm still gonna whoop your butt. I'm still gonna come out alive with this knife. Just the way it is. But haters hate no matter what, because fanboys, you can't say anything bad about their product, even though I think this knife is amazing. So anyway, the why, what, where, and how about knife throwing. So the chances that you're going to need to throw a knife in a camp situation is slim to none. But if there's a 1% chance, maybe you should actually know how to do it in case that 1% chance comes up. Now, let's say you were in a survival situation. Now, I'm talking a dire survival situation. You got lost in the woods. There was a storm. World War III just happened, and you are stuck. Any way around it, you are in a place where you don't have food that you brought with you. So the only food is what's around you. If you're in your camp and all of a sudden here comes a possum or a squirrel or a rabbit or a raccoon or anything, and you are in a situation where you need to kill whatever you can to eat just to survive, you're going to want to know how to throw a knife and why it's important for that task. If you're sitting in your camp and you got a little fire going, which you can get started with this very easily, you got a little fire going, and all of a sudden here comes a critter walking by, and if you stand up, it's going to run, and it's faster than you. If you know how to use your tools, you might just be able to get a stick inside this animal, and you can eat it and survive. You can take the pelt and make warmth. There's so many reasons why you would need to learn how to throw a knife, even if you are never ever going to use it. And that is basically the how, what, where, and why. How do you throw a knife? Well, we'll go over that. I've done it before. I've done videos on that before. When would you throw a knife? When you need to. Unless you're practicing, because you want to practice, and that's why I throw a knife in every video pretty much, because you always want to know your tools. If I'm out and about and the only knife I happen to have on me is this, a Spyderco Paramilitary 2, guess what? I better know how to use it in every aspect of its being. I better know how to hold it in every grip. I better know how to side grip, pinch grip, reverse grip, foregrip, everything to use this knife. And worst comes to worst, I better be able to throw it. I mean, what happens if you have an attacker who's got a knife, right? Generally, let me tell you something. If this is your knife in a knife fight and you're holding it and the other guy has a knife, especially if it's this long, there's a good chance even if you win, you're getting cut. So if I know how to throw a knife with ease and precision, and I can throw one and hit a guy in the chest or the neck or the face, his first reaction is to go to where that hit is. if he's only 5 feet away from me and I can actually get the throw in before he makes his strike, and I can hit him with the blade, even just scrape him with the edge or poke, doesn't have to stick in. His natural reaction is to go for that spot. Now his guard is down. I don't need the knife in my hand. Now I'm just going to punch him in the face or kick him in the neck. It's just the way it works. So being able to throw your knife is crazy important. That's why I threw this knife in a video. Yes, I did. I threw this knife. I throw folders because guess what? If you have a folder on you and you need to survive, you need to live with that folder in your pocket, I don't know. It's better to know how than to not. And all the people whine, oh, you can't throw this, you can't throw that. It's not made for this, it's not made for that. Perfect case in point. This was originally not made for a fighting knife, but guess what? They were used to fight with. Imagine that. Knives have multi-purposes. So just because something's not originally made for something doesn't mean that it shouldn't ever be used for that purpose. So when should you throw a knife? Aside from practice, you should throw a knife when you abso-freaking-lutely need to. When there's no other way around it. If the animal is starting to climb a tree and you can't reach it, you might be able to just, even if you have a stick on standby or whatever, because you don't want to go the reverse direction. If I throw a knife into an animal, it hits the ground and I have a stick, and now I have some reach and I can beat it to death. Remember, animals will fight to survive. They will fight to survive, and most of them, even though you don't think so, they will tear you up. A raccoon will kick your ass no matter how badass you think you are. The raccoon is badder. So if an animal was climbing a tree and I was able to throw a knife and strike it, and even if I didn't kill it, it hit the ground and I had a stick, I'd be able to do that. Now, could I take a stick and throw it and then wait until it hits the ground and then stab it? Yeah, but now my hand's that close to the animal. That animal's already pissed. It's scared. It's frightened. It's ready to go. It's going to fight for its life. So you got to kind of measure out and know what direction you want to take. I just got done saying how well this is a thrower. I haven't thrown this in a long time, but I did just hit the tip. It just didn't stick. I didn't get it all the way around like that. Did you see the bounce, the spring action in this long, skinny clip point? Well, I guess if you have a long, skinny clip point, it's not made for throwing, because that's what Cold Steel says. All right, so, oh my gosh, that was right in the tip. And that's why I say practice, practice, practice. So every one of those is in the tip. I just happen to know I'm standing too close, so I'll just back up a little bit and get it just like that. But that's what it is. It's about practice, practice, practice. So not everything is going to be at that height. So you have to understand that if you're hitting different heights and different angles, things like that, you're going to need a different throw. But just getting out here and rattling off a bunch of throws. See what happened now that I put you down? Rattling off a bunch of throws and just getting used to the feeling. Oh, that was all on the tip and the wood chip. Just getting used to the feeling of a knife leaving your hand, right? You want to understand what that feels like. And when they start sticking, it feels pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. When you can sit there and rattle off throws and get them to stick, that's a good thing. So now I'm gonna take this piece of styrofoam, because it's like animal size that's walking across my path. If I know it's there, bam, that shot just went right through the gut. That just went right through the gut. And a shot like that might mean that I might eat. And if you are starving, look at that. That is dead center. If you are starving, if you are hungry, and you need, without a doubt, to take an animal out, and you know it's that far away, oh shoot, I missed. That animal just ran away. And you know that if you stand up, it's going to run away. If I miss, oh well, I have another chance at a different animal some other time. But if you don't take the shot, you don't have the chance, right? So it's just practicing, getting used to hitting it, getting used to different directions. It's hard throwing at the ground. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's hard being that far away and throwing low, because naturally your body doesn't want to, right? Or you know, it's just a weird angle. So I have this guy sitting right up here. Let's see if we can't get a throw into this. This was something else. It was holding a chicken the other day. Used that Kratos knife. So now let's say you got an animal climbing a tree or doing whatever. Right there. I just hit the animal. Obviously it's a shirt with a plastic bag, but I'm making contact. And if that's the case, if that was the hit, then I'm good. Oh, hit the damn branch above my head. Hit the branch above my head. So I know that I can come out here and just look like an idiot and sit out here all day long. But you see that right there, if I have a stick ready to go and this guy's climbing a tree, I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna hit it and I'm gonna keep on going. That's a very, very important task to have. How's that, K-bar? No bending. No bending, it's K-bar. So when you're talking about that kind of stuff, sneaking up and you see a rabbit and you say, oh crap, there's a rabbit. Bam. Oh no. Oh no. Just as I get done bragging about K-bar. That was a gentle throw. I threw it really soft. Let's see if I could bend it. Oh man. Well, now I got a K-bar boomerang. Captain Electro! Sorry man, I didn't know that was gonna happen. I didn't know. I've never had a K-bar bend. I mean, I hear it all the time. People say, oh yeah, man, I broke my K-bar. And since it's never happened to me, I can only judge on my experiences. And that was crazy. That's crazy. They do have little tiny stick tangs, which is a huge complaint. It's a complaint of mine. You should always have full tang. This is a K-bar. I bent it. It happens. But what I'll do is I'll try to maybe heat it later and straighten it back. Damn K-bar. So, and this is why you practice, right? But that's the thing, is you wanna know. Oh, it's almost there. It's almost there. You always want to know especially if it's going to be a survival situation, you want to make sure that your tools can get the job done. Even this, I just bent it. Let's see. I just bent a K-bar. First time ever bending a K-bar. People complain about them all the time. Don't matter. So even if I was to bend my tool, I don't want to bend the tip. I don't know how it bent. It hit so gentle, which is really weird because that was the softest throw I'd thrown so far. Bam. So I just hit that thing with the butt. And if I can make an animal dizzy, that's going to be good enough. I might have to replace this one because I really like it. So, and it came from Electro. That was the worst part about it. So let's see here. Right there, man. Right there. That's exactly what I'd need. That is perfect. So if you got that critter and it's coming, let's see. I'm trying to do it without snapping it because of the stick tang. Wow. Okay. Captain Electro, we're back in business, baby. All right, I don't need a new one. This thing's right back in order. All right, so here's the deal. If you don't break your K-bar and you bend it, by getting the point where the leverage close to the point that's bent, you can straighten it back out. Yeah. So, but all in all, that's the thing. Oh, speaking of, and I don't know if you guys seen this. I don't know if you've seen the video. This handle goes to this, and everybody says, "Oh, you're gonna break a knife. You're using it like it's not supposed to be used, so it's gonna break." And da 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 da. This is the Rough Rider throwing knife. It's made for, designed for, and specifically built to throw. Yesterday I took it out. I came out here, and on the first throw, it hit the tree and snapped in half. Snapped in half. Bing! So then I just threw the blade part and it stuck. But that's the thing is, I hear all the time, oh, that's not made for it. That's not made for it. That's not made for it. Okay, well, why? Okay, it's just the way it is. So let's come over here. Let's come over here. I got something. I got something. So I mean, if you're at a if you're at a lake or a body of water or somewhere where either geese or duck land or something, you might be able to get yourself a bird. You got some wild turkey walking around. You might be able to get yourself a wild turkey. You never know. You never know. Damn. I didn't kill it, but I might have just dazed it. Hold on. Sometimes critters are moving. That guy's running away. Oh, and I missed. And this is why we practice. This is why we practice. So, moving targets are harder, right? Oh, look at that. It went right over it. I mean, that's if the target is this size. If you're going for a raccoon or something, it might be bigger. Still got a slight bend in there. Still got a slight bend. I'll work on it some more. Bam! That was blade in the ball, and then it rolled and snapped out. Hold on. All right, so that was a thing of beauty. Look at that. That is amazing. That right there hit here, and then as it rolled, it threw it out. But that right there on an animal is a kill shot, and that's an animal only this big. So if you got something a little bit bigger, you know what I mean? If you got a possum or a raccoon, you know, this is going to be like, you cut it in half, it's like a squirrel, but a squirrel will be a little bit longer. So this would be even like a small rabbit. You get most rabbits are bigger than this. That's a kill. That's a kill. All by coming out and practicing how to use your knife and understanding the when, where, what, and why, right? Why are you going to throw the knife? Maybe to survive. When are you going to throw the knife? When you're practicing or when you actually need to get something. What are you going to throw the knife at? Either a target or your game or your attacker. Where are you going to throw the knife? Anywhere you have a knife. Anywhere you have a knife and you can throw it. So it's really not that hard. I can't believe this thing's almost dead straight. Almost. Going to need just a little bit of work, and I'm going to do that. So hold on. I'm going to press pause, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right. So what I did is I took a mallet, and I put this little piece of styrofoam over the end cap, hammered it down really close to where it's bent, and then straightened it. All right, so this knife is still in use. Right on. So basically, you guys all get the gist. Throwing a knife, who cares what the knife is, can be not just important, but can be life-saving. Can be against an attacker, against an animal, to get food, to get free, right? Especially, let's say you have somebody coming at you and you want to do basically, you know, a throw and run, because if you throw a knife at somebody, a good chance is their hands are going to react, their body's going to react, defend themselves against a knife. And then you have a chance and an opportunity to get away. If you are not a fighter and you care about surviving, that could be good for you. So there's lots of reasons that you could throw a knife. And you never know. Throwing a knife, learning to throw a knife might just save your life one day. I am so surprised this didn't snap. So surprised. Told you it's a great knife. Told you it's a great knife. People never listen to when I say that part. They only listen to when I say it's not a fighter knife. Then everybody only hears that. No matter what I say after, before, or even during that, nobody ever hears me go, but it is a great knife. Ta-da! Proof is in the pudding. I just straightened this thing back to dead nut. So, I'm so glad. I'm so glad I love this knife. So glad I was able to save it. Now Captain Electro doesn't have to call me a jerk. So, awesome blade. Just knife skills. You need to have skills. You need to be able to learn. That's why we did that notch stick, right? Everybody put out the challenge to do that. It's skills that can keep you alive. If I need to build a shelter, I need to be able to maybe baton a little bit different angles so I can join pieces together. If I need to make a spear or something, I need knife skills. There's just things that you need to practice, and that's the best part about being a knife reviewer, is it forces me to get out every day and play with a knife in ways that EDC doesn't do. You know what I mean? Like I take my EDC out. I might cut some vines or hanging over the driveway. I'm going to open some stuff. Yesterday I used this to unscrew a Phillips head. You never know. You never know what your knife is going to be used for. But I'm not going to be outside every day batoning with my EDC, notching with my EDC, doing the things that I need to keep fresh on. I need to always know how to do. So having the luxury of coming out with different knives, especially that way I get to practice. If I get really good with one knife and then I get a new knife, I might not be as good with it as I am with that one knife. So it's really great to be able to get out and practice and understand how the different weights work, how the different math works in different knives, to where you can use it for what you need it for, even if it's not made for that. That crappy throwing knife, it's made for throwing. It broke throwing. But when I did the initial review, I did things like batoning with it and chopping with it and different things, and it worked. It worked like a knife. Not made for that stuff, but it happened to be better at that stuff than it was for what it was actually made for. Go figure. So you never know. That's why we practice. Don't just get good at one. Get good at all of your knives. Make sure every one of your knife not just has a purpose, but has multi-purposes, has multi-functions, has the ability to do multi-things, in that you are the one that can do it. Because if you let your buddy practice with your knife and you say, oh man, my knife is great, my buddy did this with it. Yeah, but now you need to learn how. So that's it. Knife skills 101, throwing. Sometimes you just might need to. Very little times, but sometimes. Hi, I'm Donnie B all day, all the time. Until next video.